raise the bar. So we kind of talked about all this, these overlap, but
Mm-hmm.
kids thrive when faced with challenges that push them slightly beyond their current abilities. And then my second point, because I want to talk about both of these, is don't lower the bar to accommodate those that are less able or less engaged. So pull everyone to the standard.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen this where people will. I've experienced it. I've butted heads with people about this before, like in our school, for example.
Okay.
But back when I was an administrator of the school, I have always been probably, if I'm honest, I'm probably too far the other way. But I have always been a proponent of raising the bar and saying, come to the standard. And not like, oh, let's make it easy for so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that some people, they feel, and I understand this, but they feel bad about, little Johnny that can't jump as high as the other kids, or, to use a physical example, or little Johnny who he just can't memorize scripture like the other kids can memorize scripture. And I guess one of my things is often it's just an excuse.
Yeah.
But the other thing is if you don't want to lower the bar to Johnny, to use his name, you don't want to lower the bar to him, and then these others are not going to reach their potential.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you have to push. You have to keep that bar high, so everybody else is pulled up to that standard.
I'm thinking of somebody that I'm related to. They're that kind of person that they needed that constant pushing and stuff. They had, especially musically, they had. I was jealous in a godly way, but I was
I mean that in a good Christian way.
In a very Christian way. I mean it. I was jealous. I mean, it seemed like they sat down and they were just clink, 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 clink. And then the next day, I mean, they're just playing songs. I'm talking about vocally wise. I mean, make myself a little bit vulnerable here. When I first started trying to sing, my mom told me I sounded like a dying cow. I mean, when it comes to singing wise, I mean, I've had to put forth a lot of effort and a lot of just like.
And this, folks, is not the inspirational environment we're talking about.
This is not the inspirational. But hey, it challenged me enough that those words that just hit me just the right way. I was that kind of kid that I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep on pushing it. And we struggled through a couple song service, but hey, nobody died. But anyway, back to my family member I'm talking about. I mean, got it. I mean, can just do X, Y, Z, and I'm over here. But but they needed that. They needed that challenge. They needed that pushing force to succeed and excel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do think that, in all of this, kids do thrive when they have challenges that push them. And you do have to support, you have to have that support there. But the other thing, and it was kind of on the last point, but it fits here, is if you could celebrate the wins. And so when they do finally memorize that memory verse or whatever, then you celebrate like, wow, you did incredible. That was awesome. Even if everybody else got it right away and they had to struggle, when they get it, just like, instead of like, it's about time, we need to be like, man, that was awesome. You did it. This is great. And we have done that. Like, we've had on occasion, we do memory verse several different ways, but sometimes we'll have kids come up and they'll get in the mic and say it or whatever. And so we have some rock stars that, they're in Bible quizzing or whatever, and they can just get up there and do it. But then we have some that they'll want to try, and you just know when they're coming up that they do not know it, but we'll give them a shot. And the key, I think, is to still be like, man, that was a good try. You didn't get it right, but that was really good.
Yeah.
There's one other thing with that is I remember reading, so we do 5 through 11, and so I kind of say that I don't know, we target 8 years old maybe or something like that. But they say that, or what I read is that when you are teaching an age range of kids, that you should target towards the top range, because the younger ones might not quite understand it, but they'll raise to that level. Whereas if you target the lower, then the older ones will think it's dumb.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and so we do try to target kind of the middle, but it's an interesting concept to think about with our 11-year-olds, 10, 11-year-olds, making sure that it is, and I think it is, but making sure that it's cool enough, that they're not too cool for Sunday school.
Yeah.